Hi, it's Imogen Lamport from Inside Out Style, coming to answer your colour and style questions. The first one in the lucky dip today comes from Kate, who says, I've gained weight due to health issues and have let my hair go grey. Me too. So I'm not sure what works for my age and shape. I'm 59 years young, also naturally large-busted and short-waisted. Help me not look sloppy and old. Well, what makes sloppy and old? Let's just start there. So when we think about sloppy and old, old can be wearing old-fashioned clothes, not being current, not being aware of the current kind of fashion silhouette as such. That will tend to make you look old. One of the other things that you often see when sloppy and old is when kind of comfort just overtakes everything and style goes out the door. And this is often just a lack of accessorizing or a lack of thinking about putting things together in an aesthetically pleasing way as well. Or wearing everything voluminous at the same time so that kind of your clothes are overwhelming you. So, this is where we can kind of get sloppy, or just the fabrics, like they're worn out, all those sorts of things as well. Hopefully that is not you. But if we're thinking about these things, so, like we all can put on weight and all those things, bodies change with age and health and all those things. So it's a matter of looking at, well, what is the body you have today? And learning to dress that shape rather than the old shape. So it may be that you've become an O shape and you have to learn a new set of figure flattery guidelines. And so thinking about, well, maybe if you've lost your weight, then, needing to not have clothes, not doing that, kind of hourglass silhouette anymore. As much as hourglass is a great shape, it doesn't work for everybody. So it might be that you're looking more for a straight up and down shape where things just bypass and skim past your stomach. It could be looking for not overly clinging fabrics so that they're not, grabbing onto every lump and bump, which can make you feel really uncomfortable as well. So that is also something to think about when you are looking at putting your wardrobe together for the new version of you. Also, if you've let your hair go grey, it's a great time to reanalyze what your colours are and what's working for you. Also looking at your colour contrast and your value contrast, because these change with hair colour changes very frequently. So that could also be something that helps you, feel like you're looking alive, because if the colours you're wearing are now too bright for you, then they'll be wearing you rather than you wearing them. And they'll also be creating a body focus. And by the sound of it, you don't want a body focus. So it's thinking about, well, what are the colours that actually make me look brighter and more exciting rather than the colours that wear me? So what are the colours that I wear, and how do I put those colours together as well? So it can be worthwhile re-looking at your colours. And things like a large bust, things like larger scale jewellery helps to make a bust look smaller, and lower neckline rather than a high neckline as well will make your bust appear smaller. There's lots of tips and tricks. And thinking about creating vertical lines through your torso is also a great tip for, like cutting up that space. Vertical lines also tend to be slimming, so creating a vertical line, so using a cardigan or a jacket or something like that also really helps. And then wearing a column of colour. That is another, particularly if you're short-waisted, the best way of creating a no tummy, we're not drawing attention to your tummy. So you can have a slightly darker inner column and then a lighter or brighter or patterned outer piece, your third piece, and that's going to help you create that kind of illusion of a long, slimmer line through the middle of your body. And then then we've got our interest, our detail, our focal points, and remembering always to put a focal point up here in your portrait area, because this is where we're looking at. This is kind of our focus zone. It's our natural place we want to look. So we want to put something interesting in there to give some, people somewhere to focus. So they're just a few little tips to think about as your age changes, as your hair changes, as your body changes, to keep you looking and feeling stylish. And it's got to be an expression of you and who you are, and what feels right and good for you. I think that's always really important. It's not necessarily like copying somebody else. It's finding the pieces that really work for you and express who you are today, the person you are today. And so this is also maybe relook at your style recipe and how you want to be perceived and how you want to put your clothes together for you. So hopefully there's a couple of little tips in there to help you.